This is Exark. This is actually a city building game, believe it or not. Got a solid bit of settings, don't need a ton of them. Now, I did the tutorial run, so we're gonna go ahead and go straight into a standard run. So you'll notice there are a bunch of houses. We only have Exark right now, because demo, I presume? Yeah. These are all locked in the demo. You'll note that they do have the ship layouts. You're building a city on the back of a flying ship, basically. Oh, we do actually have a different reactor available, though. The reactor being the core of your ship. Now, take a look at all of the text here. We're going to walk you through all of this text before we get going, since I'm skipping over the tutorial. Obviously, tags like industrial and academic are just building types. You don't really need to worry about the tags too awful much. Reactor being another building type, immovable is obvious. Cycling means every 5 seconds this effect's going to trigger. In this particular case, since it's a reactor, just giving us four of each of the 3 basic resources: food, production, and inspiration. And because of its passive, the more industrial buildings you have, the more productions you get. The more academic buildings you have, the more inspiration you get. There'll be 2 meters up here when we're actually in actual gameplay that involve both of those, that we'll get into more when we get to that. Meanwhile, the Unconquered Sun just is a big building. This is a temple complex, and it cycles for slightly more. So I think we're just better off with the Orichalcum core. Well, let's get going. But yeah, basically you can consider this kind of like faster than light merged with a city builder is the easiest comparison to use here. In the shop here, you can hire crew and you can buy buildings. When you fill out your production meter, you get a free random building, and when you fill out inspiration, you get new crew. Got your gold up here, which is used to purchase the things over here. The most important thing in the game, though, morale. You gain morale whenever you make anything or destroy an enemy. If your morale ever hits 0, you are thrown off the Ark, and the Ark might move on without you. It might crash, burn, and die. It really doesn't matter to you after you get thrown off. And of course, food is over here. Every cycle uses food. But note the extra bonus there. Excess food increases the cycle rate, so the more food you have, the faster everything cycles. So it behooves you to have extra food. For example, if we grab this exotic orchard, we can start generating food. So we'll grab that and place that here. As it gains 2 food initially, and then plus 2 food for each upgrade level on the buildings in its synergy tiles, marked with the pluses underneath it there. Now, we don't have too much else to work with here. All of these other things cost a fair whack of food, so we would be at a food deficit right now. Now, you'll note that there's a multicast chance on everything. Multicast provides a chance for building to cycle or trigger 1 or more times, and multicast has diminishing returns beyond 100% chance. This Hex Foundry has a 100% chance to multicast, so it would cycle twice and devastate our food supply right now. Now, if I grab this Diligent Skyfisher, though, we can make this go from producing 2 food to producing 5 food. Or we could grab the Foundry Overseer and have it produce food and production, if we want to be silly. Which, considering I'm not going to have anything taking food right now, we could actually get away with putting the Foundry Overseer on there. And this has 3 crew slots on it, so I can fit other things on here as we go anyway. But this way we start making more progress towards 100 production, which gets us more buildings. without having to pay. And there is a reroll. You can only reroll once, and it costs you 20 gold to do so. Once you're all set to go, you go to the world map and pick one of the 2 X's. You'll notice each of them have different amounts of flight time, they'll have different benefits, and different enemy types. As far as I'm aware, there's enemies everywhere you go, so you do need to be mindful of what your encounters are. Our goal is to get up there to the X at the top of the event horizon, starting from down here in the capital. I'm curious about this Druid of the Seed, so we'll go that way. It is the longer flight, so we have to endure combat longer. And you can get weapons like that crossbow you saw in order to fend off these enemies. But as you can see, the more you get shot, the more your morale drains. So you need to keep your production ahead of the damage you're taking, which is an interesting mechanic balance, actually. Rather than having to focus on fighting, you can just endure and succeed. Is basically, the ship is nigh indestructible, but the faith in the people in you is what makes you lose. So if you're just getting rattled around all the time and not accomplishing anything, the people aren't gonna have much faith in you. So you'll just be replaced. There we go. Druid of the Seed. Assigned to building. If my building produces production, instead produces that amount of food. And the medium auric bag that was our other reward is just expended on a building to gain 100 gold. So bing, 100 gold. Ivory Tower costs 6 food, gain 3 inspiration. Each time you upgrade a building other than an ivory tower, upgrade the ivory tower. There's the bolt thrower again, which allows us to start knocking out enemies. You do get a reward for knocking enemies out, so it is worth doing. There's the pasture, which will be good for more food. The Academy Rector, who every time the building cycles gains inspiration. Airship Gunner, which just makes a building do more damage. And the Monitor Lizard. His building produces +1 research and deals +1 damage. There's also a building that generates Monitor Lizards, which is kind of fun. Over here with the studio, though, every time it's triggered when you enter a settlement, you get 2 random inventions, and schematics and contracts will offer slightly higher quality drafts. So we've got 200 gold. So how about we grab us a bolt thrower to start defending ourselves with. Grab the studio so we can start getting inventions. Inventions are one-time use items that are applied similarly to expendable crew, but they don't actually have the same tags as actual crew, as you might imagine. Let's go ahead and grab the gunner. They also make noises when you pick them up. But now this bolt thrower will do 8 total damage, which will be very nice. Getting rid of enemies. It does cycle, though, so I could technically put the Rector in there and gain inspiration every time it shoots something. So you know what? Actually, why not? Inspiring combat. And I can buy the Monitor Lizard, so you know what? Why not? Look at him go. He's spin. There you go. You hang out in there and make it produce extra. You do have a spot? That would convert the production from the Overseer, theoretically, to more food. But since it's not technically the building producing it, I'm gonna hold off on that because I don't know if that's how that works. And I'd rather not waste the Druid. You can just keep crew and whatever in the cargo ad infinitum, far as I'm aware. And there's actually some benefits to doing that depending on what you've got. I've seen some things that benefit you for having a bunch of crew still in storage, for example. Let's see. Acquire a relic and get an effigy. Gotta fight the Automa. Go this way, get a blood emerald and an industrial schematic. You have to fight the Exark breach. That's only 30 seconds. This is 40 seconds. I'm concerned about the fact that that text is in red, though. We're gonna go over here. I like relics anyway. Relics are good. Exactly how relics are in any other game of this type. You just get a passive benefit. As you can see, we are fighting back now. So when this cycles again, it'll kill off that battle orb, thereby reducing the damage we take, and we get a morale buff for having defeated an enemy. So people are pretty happy about that. Our schematic from our production is a caryatid, which is each building on a tile around it that produces inspiration produces more inspiration. The Enchanter's Guild, each time you upgrade a building, this building permanently produces more inspiration, and it just makes 4 inspiration by default. Or the Theatrum, each building on an adjacent tile with a plus that produces inspiration produces more. Let's take the Enchanter's Guild, because it doesn't need to be near something. You can also just place buildings whenever, by the way. You don't have to be out of combat to place buildings, so you can just chuck it down and move on with your life, so it starts activating immediately. We actually almost wiped them out, because we made that bolt thrower real strong pretty much immediately. And here's some inventions. Mysterious briefcase. Expend on a building to open the briefcase. Sure. Which had Industrious Tribute. Expend on reactor or to acquire House Minas schematic and 2 junk buildings. Sure. So now we've got even more things to check over here, but our junk buildings are compost. Passive, each building on a plus tile all around it that produces food produces 2 more food. And it's everything adjacent to it, so we'll just put it right up above our exotic orchard to make more food. And we got the caryatid, regardless of what our intentions were before. So we'll go ahead and put that up next to our Enchanter's Guild, since that's something that guarantees builds inspiration. The Clockwork Butler, when you expend it on a cycling building, makes the building cycle twice. But it only does it the time you place it on it, so it basically just triggers a couple cycles of that building. So right now, we're just going to hang on to that. Now, as to all of the things we triggered over here, our free crewmate is either a dashing duelist who makes a building get 33% more crit chance, the airship gunner we already have, which makes it deal 2 more damage, or another monitor lizard. Let's take the dashing duelist, because it's the highest rarity one. Unfortunately, there's not a spot for them, but you can just move crewmates around. So we'll just go ahead and move the Rector over to the Enchanter Guild, and then put the duelist on the gun, so it now has a 33% crit chance. So that'll be pretty handy. Thank you for making that gun more useful. Our relic choices are trash compactor. Each time you trash a non-junk building, acquire compacted trash, which is industrial junk buildings that have no effect. The Antiquarium. Each time you trash an animal building or crew, gain 2 armor. Or the Cato Ninetails. Each building gains 25% multicast chance for each laborer assigned to it. Multicast no longer suffers from diminishing returns. We'll take that one. Because, for example, we now have 25% multicast on our exotic orchard, thanks to the monitor lizard. That is the only laborer type we have. Though the Druid of the Seed is a laborer as well, so we can make use of that. The Sidereal Master can be expended on a building to give it the Sacred tag, so that's nifty. Solemn Undertaker. Assign it to a building. Each time you expend crew or item on this building, this building produces 2 more resources until end of flight. Let's see. Frostworm. Military animal. Cycling. Deal 3 damage and freeze the target for half a second. Nifty. Discounted Arcane Workshop of a different shape. Wait, no, we have the Enchanter's Guild, not the Arcane Workshop. Arcane Workshop generates production for each building on the Arc, including this building. So that would be pretty... Oh, each academic building. So it would only really be benefiting from the Caryatid and the Enchanter's Guild at the moment. That's still pretty good for 50 gold, so I'll go ahead and snag that. And we'll slap it in right there. Leaving space in case there's something else that'll benefit from adjacency with academic buildings. So that's going to gain us 10 production each time it triggers. Or I could make it produce food if we're needing to. Now our schematics. First we have the effigies. Effigy of Asp Tongue, which at the start of flight, agriculture, and industrial buildings gain crit chance until end of flight. Does crit even benefit non-attacking buildings? Really sure. At the start of flight from the Saint Menias 1, you will have your size 1 buildings on the Ark produce 2 more resources until end of flight. You don't have that many of those. And the effigy of the First Empress. At the start of flight, if this building is in cargo, plus 3 seconds of flight time, otherwise minus 3 seconds of flight time. So if it's in cargo, it makes your flight take longer. If it's out in the field, it makes your flight faster. I'm gonna go ahead and just skip these and take the 20 gold. I don't want any of these effigies. And let's see, our free blueprint is a junk heap. Industrial junk. Each building on a tile adjacent to it that produces production makes more production. The junkyard. Junk buildings produce +1 resources. Or the barn. When you acquire this building, acquire an animal crew, and it generates food and production. This is an industrial animal. We're taking that. It also got me the Hungry Hydra. Passive, assign it to a building. If my building produces production, it produces 10 more production, but consumes 20 food. That's a bit of a yikes. We'll go ahead and slap this in right here, so it's still adjacent to the exotic orchard, but leaves room for something else to be placed next to the orchard. We got the Squall Mill and fit that in that opening, in fact. It's got 100% crit chance, which is silly. There we go. So now our exotic orchard makes 11 food. We get 1 food from the barn, and we get 2 food from the Squall Mill. So we should be in decent shape for food. Till you think about the fact that the Arcane Workshop takes 12 food by itself. So our food production is a little ratty still. A little bit ratty. What I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna put the Druid of the Seed on the barn so that it only produces food. It doesn't produce any production. Let's head out. We can either go to Corbin Keep or Castle Chatillon. Get armor and a relic from the castle, or trade with the logistics exchange interface and gain armor. I'm more interested in more relics. Oh, that is a long flight. We just gotta hope that the Brine Blood Brood aren't too dangerous. Haha. They got a bunch of flying manta rays. They are dinging us up pretty good, but we're gaining more than they're taking. Let's see, our free thing is a Harpax. Can only be placed on port or starboard tiles. Cost 3 food, deal 3 damage. The Giant Eagle Eerie we saw before. Cost 5 food, deal 2 damage. Or the Toolsmith. Cost 4 food, gain in 2 production, plus 2 production for each industrial building on a tile near it. Let's go ahead and take the Harpax. So we can put that over here on this side so it starts firing into the enemy as well. Start clearing more enemies out for us. In fact, cycle the shooter a couple extra times so we can hopefully get another kill in there before we leave. Let's go. I would like to see a time where I actually clear out all the enemies. It's difficult to do though, that's for sure. Let's see, we got the Platinum credit card and we got our Clockwork Butler back. So we get just free 30 gold from the credit card. And our relic is... Trash Compactor came back. Promethean Core. Each reactor building gains plus 100% crit chance. And the Clockwork Hive. Construct a Clockwork Hive on a random empty tile. Each time you enter a settlement, construct a Clockwork Hive on a random empty tile. Let's see. They're removable agricultural buildings that cycle every 5 seconds to provide 2 food for each other or Clockwork Hive on the Ark. So you would eventually run out of space, but you'd have infinite food generation until you run out of space. We'll take the Promethean core. I don't know what crit chance does for it, but our core has crit chance now, I guess. Let's see. We got the Parasect of Graces. Assigned to a building if your building produces inspiration, produce more. Interior Designer. Add a crew slot to that building if possible, which is very good. And the Ingenious Inventor. Each time you enter a settlement, acquire an invention. We'll take the Interior Designer, so we can add more space to something. Now, I believe you can only have as many crew slots as there are spaces on the building, so I can't add it to the Bolt Thrower, for example. But my plan is to add to the Arcane Workshop, so that it can do more. Let's see. We do have another Interior Designer I can buy as well. Shrewd Scavenger, destroy a building, acquire an invention equal to its size. Harried Hawker, assigned to a building. My building gains 10% crit chance for each crew or item assigned to buildings on the Ark. Since that's for everything assigned to the Ark at all, we'll go ahead and grab that and put that on here. Yeah, that's 70% crit chance for the Harp Axe now. That's pretty good. We could still get the Frostworm, or a Gear Mill, or the Alchemist Guild. We haven't seen that one yet. Each time an industrial building on a plus tile cycles, gain gold. Each time I'm once on also crits, gain 5 gold. So we could put it here where the barn is and have it triggering a decent amount that way. So I don't really have that many other industrial buildings other than the Arcane Workshop, and the Arcane Workshop would take a lot longer to cycle. But I'll leave an open space. Oh, I can't quite afford it. I didn't realize that. I thought I had 130, not 110. Well, never mind, that dream is dead. Could grab the Frostworm. It's on discount right now. But I think I'll grab the Interior Designer instead. In fact, actually, we could grab both of them if I wanted to, but what would I use the Scavenger on? Probably the Squall Mill, because it doesn't really produce much. I still don't know how crit interacts with non-damaging things. If it crit cycles, I wonder if it's gaining 4 food instead of 2 food, and that's what that means? I'd have to sit here and watch that to keep track of that. But I could exchange it for 2 inventions. Yeah, I'll take that trade. We got the Gelatinous Ingot. Expend on a building, acquire a basic copy of that building. You cannot copy reactors this way. And the Lodestone Compass. Expend on a building, that building permanently gains 20% crit chance. Hey, Ballista. There you go. Now has a 53% crit chance. Now, what building do I want to copy of? That's a very good question. I think actually the Bolt Thrower again. Because what you do is when you combine it with another copy of itself, it upgrades. So it's now the Bolt Thrower Mark II. Deal 7 damage, 3 damage for each crew or item assigned to this building, so it does 15 now. Not when it doesn't crit. And it has a 53% chance to crit, so half the time it'll do a lot more than that. Is the crit multiplier is times 2, so it'll do 30. Not bad, not bad. Interior Designer is gonna go ahead and go into the studio. I have 2 spaces on that studio for extra people to go into. Now, from here, we go either to the Heap or to Kara Sarai. which would get us a tribute and an arc bag, and we'd fight Brine Blood again, or the heap has Brine Blood as well, get us a junk schematic and 3 compacted trash. I'm more interested in the tribute and the arc bag. We'll go that way. They've got more health, though, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to take them out. Like, we do a lot of damage with our bolt thrower, but that's still a lot to chew through. Thankfully, they aren't doing enough damage to be a huge issue for us, so we're just kind of chilling. I do like these unique takes on city building, though, where you actually are still doing city building mechanics, but you're doing them in unique situations like this. Where it's not just, hey, fulfill all of your citizens' needs in order to do the thing. There's more to it than that. There's the medium arc bag. Let's go ahead and get the money from that. Find out what the briefcase has for us. Ingenious Tribute. Acquire a House Oryx, schematic, and 2 inventions. Sure. Oh yeah, I have to expend that on the reactor. There we go. Yet another Clockwork Butler. And the Fruit Machine. If that building produces food, it permanently produces food equal to its size. Additional food equal to its size, that is. So we'll have our orchard produce 3 more food. And let's see, our 2 free crew members are either the Raptor Burner. At the start of flight, my building cycles 3 times. Star Sigil Seer. Assigned to a building, my building produces 15% more inspiration for each unique tag among crew assigned to it, including himself, or the Academy Rector we've seen before. Let's take the Raptor Burner. I have funny ideas involving that. And our other reward, or tribute, is either an Industrious Tribute, which gets us the House Minis schematic and junk buildings we've seen before, the Ambitious Tribute, a House Imperial schematic and an effigy, or the Audacious Tribute, House in Exile schematic and 2 blood sacrifice. I'm interested to see these blood sacrifices. Let's see. Blood sacrifice. Expend on a building. That building produces 2 resources and deal +1 damage until end of flight. Neat. Then can I assign the Raptor Burner to the orchard and just generate tons of food? Because that'll be 36 food at the start of every flight. Because it generates 12 per. Thinking that's a good idea. Just to keep our food woes at bay, basically always. Now our free schematics. I could get another orchard. I could get a frontistry. Each building on a tile cycles faster. I like that idea, though it's only got the 1 tile to make cycle faster. That still could be useful. We'll take that one. Let's see, we got the Enchanter's Guild again, the Stone Fury. Each time you expend a crew or item, this building cycles and deals 7 damage. Or Caryatid. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Stone Fury. I might not use it, though. And our last one, you'll notice some of these don't have icons. We got a mouth, an intestine, and a rectum. The mouth, each time you expend a crew or item on this building produces food until end of flight. Intestine, gain in 1 food, +1 food, equal to the size of each organ building on plus tile. And the rectum, each time this building is accelerated, deal 2 damage and inflict slow. I'm gonna take the mouth, but I'm gonna recycle it for money. I would have skipped, but the recycling was worth more. We are in ads now, so I'll be back in a second. Howdy, Shawnee. How you doing? Sorry, I was away refilling my drink while the ads ran. Hopefully you're doing well. We will be fully back from ads here in just a moment. Yeah, I'll go ahead and recycle the Stone Fury. I don't think I'll use that. Just gets me more money to buy more things I do actually want. We are going to use the frontistery. Just got to figure out where I want to put it. We do have a discounted ivory tower, which might be fun. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. You didn't miss much. Like I said, I got up, refilled my drink, and while y'all were stuck in ad land. This way you didn't miss too much actual significant activity. Let's see, we've got an excavation. Commercial building. When it's triggered by acquiring or upgrading it, we gain a random item. Each time you enter a settlement, upgrade this building. Go ahead and grab that and chuck that over here next to the... No, let's not chuck it next to the gun because we might get another gun to put there. We got Dragon Egg. When it's assigned to a building, each time you enter a settlement, acquire a dragon whelp and destroy it. Yes, that is how it is spelled backwards, yes. Let's see, the Ivory Tower is a 3-tile building. I don't know if I want to try to fit that in there, actually. It'd be kind of annoying to try to squeeze in. The problem is, what do I have cycle faster with this? I don't have anything I can actually fit it next to actually cycle, aside from the Harpax, which doesn't need it. We can benefit from the Alchemist Guild. It would really only be the barn or the workshop that would benefit from that. Barn definitely cycles faster, like we discussed before. Ket Order Pit Boss. My buildings produce 10% more production for each industrial building on the Ark. Okay, actually, yeah, that makes a good argument for getting the Alchemist Guild, then. We'll put it here like I was planning to. I probably should put it over a bit. So we can freely move things for those that didn't know. So actually, let's put it here so it benefits the orchard as well. And then what we do is we take that pit boss and we put that on our arcane workshop. Oh, right, this is a commercial guild, not a industrial building. I thought it was going to add another industrial building for the pit boss to benefit from. Oh, well, that's fine. You do trash for 30 food. The butler's trash for money. But I can also just get money by using them, thanks to the guild. So let's just generate some free money right quick. Because now I can afford the Ingenious Inventor. And add them up here. Considering the amount of food we have, I'm willing to gamble on the Hungry Hydra and have this produce even more. What do dragon whelps do? Well, what's your favorite thing there, Shawnee? Also, if it's assuming it's your birthday now, based on you saying that, happy birthday. So let's see, dragon whelps are officer animal crew that can be assigned to officer buildings to provide an offensive bonus. Well, we don't have any officer buildings, so that doesn't help us. Ah, fair enough. And you're welcome. Happy early birthday, then. We'll go ahead and trash that dragon egg. Not gonna use that. You know, I'm never a good one to ask what should I get for food, because that is such a situational thing and everybody's taste is different. So I never have a good answer for that. But something like a good set of Chinese food or some ribs would never be a bad choice. Let's see, acquire a random courtier and a relic by going this way. Or exchange an armor. We'll take the courtier and the relic. More relics. Being a relic myself. No problem. Okay, yeah, and I'm seeing crits giving more resources now that I'm actually paying attention to the resource pops. So crit on production buildings is worth it then. Okay, good to know, good to know. I was looking so many other places on the screen that I never really noticed what my production pops actually looked like. I just was watching the meters up there, basically, rather than the actual main screen where the buildings themselves are. We are doing really well now, though. Our morale is high, enemies are dying regularly, production is happening very rapidly. We've made it about... yeah, actually, no, I think we made all of that money that we see up there on this flight. So, 46 gold from the building that I added, definitely worth it. Let's see. Credit cards just give us money. Ooh, Glint-Eye the Treasurer. Expend on a building to gain 150 gold. This cannot be bought or drafted in the demo, but may be acquired through other means. So we got it through getting the courtier. So that's another 150. Go ahead and open the briefcase. To get the 100 Hand Sutra. It's an engineer sutra that, when applied to a building, that building gains 100% in multicast chance. And the Sidereal Conjunction Sutra, assigned to a building, that building triggered effects trigger 3 times. Plus 3 times. So let's go ahead and put that on the Alchemist Guild. So now every time it triggers plus 3 times, giving me tons of money. Let's see, what do I expend the Rubric Cube on? Probably the core, because it'll be 2 of every resource. It'll be critting every time? Yeah, that's a good idea. And we can actually put the multicast on that too. For just lots of free resources. So let's see, we can get the Academy Archmage. Building gains 70% multicast chance. Green Sun Cultist assigned to military buildings each time this building attacks. Inflict Corroded 2. And the Overworked Octopod. Building trigger effects trigger plus 1 times. Hey, what if I put you on the money-making building too? Now it triggers plus 4 times. And our relic choices are Emerald Thurible. Sacred Building tag effects grant plus 2 resources, and we get a Sidereal Master. 3 of Wands. Each 3-size building gains 50% crit chance. And the Trash Compactor. Let's take the 3 of Wands, because we have a lot of 3-size buildings. Like, most of our buildings are 3s that are any serious production. Because our Arcane Workshop, our Exotic Orchard, and our Barn are all 3-size. Half of which being our main food production. So, lots of good benefit there. And our free blueprint is another excavation, another arcane workshop, or an inventor's guild. In my test game, I had the inventor's guild, and it was really nice to have the extra inventions from it and all the slots, but it does only trigger once. So, I think I'll take another... no, actually, I'll just take the money. I don't really have room to be doubling up on most of those, though I could have upgraded my arcane workshop that way, admittedly. We'll grab the dynamo and slap it in this corner. So that every time the barn cycles, we get some extra production. We also get an extra 10% from the Ket Order Pit boss that way. So we got Hippodrome. Every time this building crits, gain a gold. Cost 3 food, gain 2 inspiration. Mystic Forge. Each time a building on a tile on one of its corners cycles, accelerate this building 1 second. Just eats food, produces production. Nothing too interesting there. We'll grab the Archmage for multicast. You know what? Actually, sure. Go ahead and put that on the heart packs, so it does a bit better a job of shooting. But we are gonna go ahead and re-roll here. Ooh. Interesting. The statue. Gain in 1 inspiration every time it triggers at no cost, and gain another half an inspiration for every empty tile around it. It's only 15 gold, so we'll go ahead and slap that there. It's gonna generate 6 inspiration every 2.5 seconds. At the moment, anyway. We could get another Cat Order Pit Boss. Yeah, take the Hydra off of there, put the other Pit Boss in. This now generates 27 production, so every... Oh no, it's 600 production for a thing now. Okay, you know what, that makes sense. I thought it was going to be 100 every time, so we were just going to be getting a quarter of a blueprint every time this triggered. It would have been ridiculous. Actually, grab another overworked Octo, and now I get 4 inventions every time we enter a settlement. So that'll be fun. Do I want something to have more multicast? I don't know if multicast would work on the triggered effect there, but I could put it on the barn for more food and more production. Oh, more food, really, because it converts. Sure. Still don't have something to place this Prontostory on. So we're just gonna move along. Let's see, start next run with a unique relic. And acquire a large ore chest containing 150 gold. Or unique relic and acquire 2 relics. Give me 2 relics. Give. Gib. Gib. But we must face the orbs. They're actually chewing us up pretty good. We are losing morale pretty rapidly. We're getting it back pretty well too, but it stings. What did we get? Let's see. Enlightened Tutor, Diligent Skyfisher, or Workshop Assistant. What's the tutor do? Each time building multicast, gain production. Diligent Skyfisher just gets 3 more food whenever it produces food. And if the Workshop Assistant building produces production or inspiration, it produces 2 more of each for each crew assigned to the building, including him. Come along. I'll need to make room somewhere for you, but that'll be a good one to have. And yeah, we're losing a lot of morale, but we should get through this okay, because we're about to knock out another orb. And it looks like they don't have more. Definitely the most significant morale loss we've had so far, though. Like, we lost, what, half the morale we came into this flight with, so that's a little rough. But we get lots of goodies. Ooh, twin shot. Costs 7, deals 4 times 2 2 times 2 damage, rather. I just immediately assumed 4. Let's see. Our relic of choice is the Ritual Candle. Right buildings are not destroyed upon entering a settlement. Acquire a right building. Triumphal Mask. Each time you destroy an enemy, each building gets 25% crit chance until end of flight. Or the Gift of the Gab. Each building produces double money. I'm taking the Triumphal Mask, because we do kill an enemy like every fight, so the crit chance should then lead to more killing. Effects which trigger, or upon entering a settlement, trigger +1 times from the Grandmother Clock. That's tempting. Shattered Soulstone. Acquire an effigy building. Each time you enter a settlement, acquire another effigy building. Or the Guild Signet. Each guild building acquires 2 additional resources. Acquire a Bureaucrats Guild. Sure. Bureaucrats Guild has no effects, is just a guild building. Well, good news, I can set that on fire for money. Goodbye. I may have only just now realized I have over 1,000 gold from what I did during the previous flight. I think the multicast was causing the Alchemist Guild to trigger repeatedly, and then the repeat triggers were also causing repeat triggers. Wait, why does that say buildings triggered effects only trigger +1 times now? I guess it was only for one flight then that it was getting all of those extra triggers? That's a shame. Probably more reasonable that way, admittedly. Let's see, if you produce inspiration equal to the building's size. Well, the best one for that would only be a 2-size building, but still extra, so we'll take it. We have multiple of them too, so there we go. Got another dragon egg, just get rid of that. Got a clockwork butler. Adamantium drill, if that building produces... Oh, it's the production version of the thing we just read. So we'll go ahead and chuck that on the arcane workshop. So now it makes 32. Let's see what's in our briefcase. Phantom Organ Sutra, assigned to building each time in a reactor building cycles, accelerate this building by 0.3 seconds. I unfortunately don't have any room in anything that cycles at the moment, but I'll think about that. Perpetual Motion Sutra. Each time my building accelerates, it produces +1 resources until end of flight. There's potential there. There's disgusting combo potential there. In fact, we also have a Foundry Overseer to combine with all that idea. Assigned to building each time his building cycles gain in-6 production. I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll this, I think. The railgun's a funny idea, though. Is if I rotate the Enchanter's Guild, I can have a nice straight vertical line here. Of empty tile. Oh no, it only needs 3, though. So we only need to put it there. Does 12 damage every time it cycles right now. Okay. What I can do, though, is place the Phantom Organ on it. So it just starts accelerating as well. And our free building is a gear mill, a frostworm, or a theatrum. What's theatrum do again? Oh, right. Building produces inspiration, produce more inspiration. The gear mill could be worth our while a bit. Though we're already so high on production, we don't really need it. So I'll go ahead and just take the money. We can use that to pay for the reroll. We will grab the overworked octopod. And the harried hawker. Now we'll reroll. Because it restocks the crew in here. Prodigal Gambler. Each time you reroll, if my building produces money, it permanently produces 2 more money. Yes? Yes? Because we have a money-making building, so more money. Shrewd Scavenger. Another Cat Order Pit Boss. Where would I even put him, though? I have no room. I have so much crew and nowhere to put them. Ooh. Auction House. Each time you expend an invention, gain 7 gold and 14 inspiration. Each time you acquire an invention, this building permanently produces 2 more inspiration. Well then. Academy 1. Each time you enter a settlement, acquire a copy of each crew assigned to this building. So you can just sit here and just keep cloning someone over and over and over again. Oh, that is ridiculous. Definitely taking this discounted pit boss. It's a shame I can't reroll. Wait, no, it says rerolls remaining 1 of 1 there, but 0 of 1 there. We'll find out in a minute whether it works. Give me the Academy and the Auction House. We'll figure out what to do with those in a moment. So I can keep re-rolling. I guess I just had 1 free re-roll, probably. So now this generates more money. Another Academy, so we could upgrade the Academy immediately. And upgrade the Auction House. Oh boy. Can I upgrade something in the inventory? No, it seems like I just wasted my money doing that. Okay. Because I think I sold the thing I flipped it with. Actually, no, because it was still... I don't know what happened. So now, each time I expend an invention, I gain 14 gold and 22 inspiration, and it gains 3 more every time I acquire one. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the statue. Put the academy down here. Oh no, that's not a valid tile. Put it right there then. And upgrade it. Okay, upgrading it gives an additional slot. Kind of figured. But the thing is, I could put the overworked octopod in there to make it trigger more, so I get 2 copies of whatever I put it in there, including more of the octopod. Oh, this is stupid. This is very stupid. And we got a temple garden here. Each time you expend a crew or item, it produces more food. It just produces food. So there's a thought. What happens when the academy crits? Does that just make it make more people too? I don't know how that works. Go ahead and just sit here on the reactor for the moment. What a mess this ship is right now. Go ahead and reroll again. I can upgrade the academy again. You know what, why not? Let's go full ridiculous now that we've learned more about how this works. That doesn't cycle, so that doesn't help. Ooh, Grand Architect. Can't quite afford. We'll sell the Perpetual Motion Sutra to upgrade a building twice. We'll go ahead and put that... No, let's put that on the bolt thrower, because that's our claim to fame on this ship at this point. It's now a bolt thrower Mark 3. Oh, I guess things cap at 3? Well, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have bothered doing that. Oh well. It deals 21 damage now, so that's not bad. That was a bit of a waste of money, though. Would love to have that gelatinous ingot as well, but that's not happening. Because even if I have the barn cycle repeatedly, we're not making enough money to do that. So I may as well... Or maybe I can make that much money. So it... Oh, because the building crit, I made more. Okay. I see the vision there now. So now we can buy the gelatinous ingot to get another copy of something to upgrade it with. I'm doing... Oh, right, we also got money from the auction house. Because we expended it inventions. Let's get an extra rail cannon. Now it does 16 damage. Okay. I'm gonna check the Foundry Overseer in there so we can get more of him. I'm starting to do the thing these games are so wont to do and breaking things horrendously. Wait. Oh yeah, it was 9 and then yeah, okay. I'm purposely re-rolling, by the way, just to increase the amount of money the Alchemist Guild is making now. Which I could have upgraded that too, which would have been funny. Oh, I am actually out of rerolls now. Okay. Weird. Oh, off we go then. Let's see. We're almost done with the run. Wild Flux to get an upgrade kit. Capital Remnant to get an upgrade kit. This gives us money as well, so we'll go this way. We are producing so much, but we might actually lose here. None of these are gonna really help that much. Because we're losing morale too rapidly, we're dead. Wow, we actually did really well and then just suddenly died. Look at that. We actually produced the same amount of gold as food, which is hilarious. We did a good amount of damage as well. I tell you what, we'll go back in. We'll go back in and try again. See if we have anything else to work with. Yeah, only the Unconquered Sun. We'll give that a try. It's a little bit big and bulky, but it has more space for you to potentially just buff your reactor a bunch, which might be an interesting play. We did go an hour on this, but considering the other one was a half hour, I'll give this a little bit of leeway time. Let's see, Ironholm Insignia. At the start of the Ark's 3rd, 6th, and 9th flights, gain 4 armor. Vestigial Organ, acquire an organ schematic. Or the Family Heirloom, acquire a tribute contract. We'll take the tribute contract. Which gets us one of the 3 tributes. Go ahead and give me the junk again, actually. The junk was pretty good. Compost twice is not exactly what I would have wanted. Let's see, we got Project Junk Trading. Triggered when you deploy this project, acquire 2 junk buildings. When you upgrade this project, level 2 gets you a junk building, and then 3 gets you a junkyard, and then the project is destroyed. Okay. Junk Heap, we've seen Cheesemonger. Gain 3 food, plus 3 food for each mineral tile beneath this building. We'll go ahead and take the Junk Heap. You can get a pasture, which is a good basic food-making building. Container? Ooh, okay, so it just gains value when trashed. Go ahead and grab the discounted pasture. And we got a diligent Skyfisher immediately as well, so we can actually set up pretty good for food. Okay, no, that still drained the money, so it's not a free reroll. There's another exotic orchard. We can get our bolt thrower back immediately. So yeah, we'll take that bolt thrower. We kind of need a defense. And we'll just surround our food production with compost, so we get 11 food from it. So the Unconquered Sun does count as for food production as well. So I could just do that. They cycle at the same time, so it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen the other. But what I can do is put the pasture here, and now they both benefit from it. Rain. Rain. Rain actually works sometimes. Off we go. So let's see, we got Trim Tomb, acquire a relic, get a movable feast, or a small orc person agricultural schematic from Morningside. Let's go to Trim Tomb. I'm gonna go ahead and turn speed up, though. And they're setting us on fire a bit, which is upsetting. But I figure if I turn the speed up, it should make it much more viable to finish this in a more reasonable amount of time. Shrine. Gain 3 inspiration. Each time you trash or expend a crew or item, the shrine cycles. Each shrine cycles, specifically. That's interesting. Head of 9 tails. Each building gains 25% multi-cast chance for each laborer assigned to it. Multicast no longer suffers from diminishing returns. Valerium, we've seen. Smuggler's Lockbox. Each time you enter a settlement, acquire a contraband. I'm interested to see what the contraband items look like. Go ahead and grab us an interior designer. And add another slot to our reactor. Which I only just realized I could do that. I for some reason thought I couldn't. Speaking of, we may as well put the junk heap next to our reactor because it produces production. No reason not to, really. Do I want this studio? Yeah, I mean, it's basically free. There you go. Worst case, we get better drafts of our rewards, so it'll be worth it. There goes some more bots getting nuked. Blood Emerald and Industrial Schematic, or 2 inventions and an Arc Purse. We'll go ahead and go for the Emerald this time. It's the orbs again. You do have to turn the speed up every time, which is mildly annoying. There we go. Notice how much faster that was when you turn the speed up. You just have less of an idea why something went wrong when it goes wrong. Ooh, assigned to a building, each time you enter a settlement, gain 30 gold. Put that on my reactor for the moment. Let's see. Nest egg, each time you enter a settlement, destroy this and receive an animal crew. Rotary cannon, expend on a building, that building permanently deals +2 damage. Well, we'll go ahead and just put that on our bolt thrower. It's the only thing that does damage around here. And we got another clockwork butler. Go ahead and grab the excavation again. And we got a refund on it, more or less, with the platinum credit card. Let's go. Let's see, Arcane Workshop, Gear Mill, Junkyard. Let's grab the Gear Mill this time. Slap that on our reactor. We could get the Siege Cannon as well. Deals damage to the bottommost enemy, though, which is interesting. That's usually the one with the most health. But, you know what, why not? We're going, like, industrial military ship this time. And chuck the nest egg in the studio. So we can get that free crewmate. Guild and money, or armor and relic? Armor and relic. Always relics. All the relics. Speed it up. We are getting hurt, but they are getting hurt more. And we're out of there. Stolen painting. Assigned to a building, each time you enter a settlement, gain 20. Okay. And then we got another rotary cannon, so I'll just go ahead and put more damage on the bolt thrower. Maneki Neko. Assigned to a commercial building, each time you acquire a building, gain 5 gold. I don't think I have any commercial buildings. No, and we're probably not really going to be going for that, so I'm going to go ahead and bin him. Let's upgrade our cannon. Let's get our free stuff first, though. Burgomeister's Key, double your money. I could get another Smuggler's Lockbox or a Cat of Nine Tails. Let's double our money. 380 is pretty nice. Oh, I could have gotten the Emporion. It's fine. Chanter's Guild again. No slots on the gear mill, otherwise I would consider the pit boss. Oh, speaking of, interior designer. There we go, now the gear mill has a slot in it, and I can put the pit boss in it. Let's see, Giant Eagle Eyrie, Toolsmith, or Hex Foundry. Let's get the Toolsmith, because we are working industrial buildings right now. Move the the studio here. There we go. Now that makes 6 production itself. We are currently going to be in a deficit for food. That's to be expected. Buff the toolsmith with you. Go ahead and hit that reroll. Ooh, chef de partie. Reduce building cycle cost to 0. So if we put that on the gear mill, that gear mill doesn't cost us food anymore. Sorry, pit boss, you are immediately removed, bud. There we go. Now it costs nothing to get the production from the gear mill. So whenever it has that bonus cycle, it's not going to eat more of my food. We do have another interior designer option as well. So let's slap that on the gear mill, and then I can put the pit boss back in it. And now it has both. So it's probably actually better to have the foundry overseer in there right now. Because 40%'s not that much for that, whereas every time it cycles, giving 6 is definitely more. Because it'll generate 4 on its own, and then the foundry overseer generates 6. So it's generating 10 on every cycle. Upgrade the bolt thrower? Upgrade the bolt thrower. Chase off the enemies better. We can use the butlers to fire the bolt thrower more. In fact, if I wanted to be cheeky, I could move the chef over to the bolt throwers before I re-trigger it repeatedly. But I don't think I need to worry about food that badly. So, upgrade kit. Got a bunch of little ships here. Fire the gun repeatedly. Fire the gun repeatedly again. Yeah, we just nearly knocked that ship right out of the air. There's no way the siege cannon's getting through that Legion bark at the bottom either. And we're not getting through a second one of the cutters either. Did solid damage to it though. Let's see, the upgrade kit upgrades any building. Cannot be drafted or bought in the demo, but maybe acquired through other means. Let's go ahead and upgrade our gear mill with that. Now it generates 6 on its own. Okay. We actually have a gelatinous ingot there as well. And upgrade our studio. Oh, studio does not upgrade. I should have paid attention to that. Go and just take the loss on that. Got another nest egg. Dinosaur skull. Every time you enter a settlement, gain money. Fruit machine. Like a pasture, generate more. Briefcase has 2 looted idle contraband in it, so even more money. I'm just loading this ship up with contraband to make free money. There's gotta be like a downside to this, right? There's gotta be like you get caught by the police event or something that's gonna slap me upside the head. Let's grab the dynamo to put that on the gear mill, so since it cycles extra times. What's our other freebie? Frostworm, Alchemist Guild, Pasture. Let's grab a Frostworm. Put that over here. And we'll gelatinous ingot our gear mill. Make it a level 3 gear mill, which produces 10 now. 50%, that gives it 5 on each cycle, but the Foundry Overseer's still doing more then. You do only produce 3. That's the extra 50% on that is better though. Actually, no, it's amounting to the same. Because without the +3, yeah, it's only 6, so 50% ends up being the same as 3. So no, you stay there then. Oh, if I sell the egg, I can get the Grand Architect and upgrade a building twice. So let's upgrade our Toolsmith twice. Oh, is that not upgradable? That's not... No, that is upgradable. Oh, the egg wasn't worth money. Well, melt the idol down then. God damn it. There we go. Now that makes 18. So with 50%, yeah, 22. That's better. That's much better. And we still didn't even use our large auric chest, so we'll do that. Do I want the academy? We didn't even make use of the academy in the last run. But what I could do is use the academy to have more chef de parties, to then make more buildings free as far as food goes. So yes, that's a good idea. I like that. Set a course. Industrial schematic or armor. Yeah, we'll take the industrial schematic since we're all about industry here. Fight the orbs. We are taking a beating from them, but we killed at least one, so that's fine. Take all the money. Oh, hey, we got our own gelatinous ingot. And we got a curious changeling. His building produces 6 extra resources and deals 3 extra damage. So it just makes a building way better. So I'll give up the stolen painting and put the changeling in the reactor. So it does double-digit everything. The Brothers, Sidereal Master, Sarsigil. Our gear mill's already maxed out, so we don't need another copy of that. We'll get another siege cannon then. And Boiler Works. Each building on a plus tile gets 30% crit chance, and every time a building crits, gain 5 production, 5 of inspiration. This building cannot crit. Interesting. I'm kind of interested in the Mystic Forge, though, so we're gonna try to squeeze that in somewhere. In fact, we're just gonna squeeze it in right there. Rotate the junk heap over here. Actually, no, there's no point in putting it there. Like, it would make the Mystic Forge generate a little more, but that doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme. 5 more of that. Put the extra chef de partie into the gear mill. The other advantage to the Mystic Forge is it has a lot of space for me to put my extra nonsense in to make money. Upgrade the cannon. Kill 9 to bottommost enemy. In fact, let's just get us another Mystic Forge and immediately upgrade it. 22 production now. Okay. I also just now realized we've used up, like, all of our food. So, Chef needs to get on task here a bit. Yeah, because our food usage is a bit rough in hindsight. So that's a problem. I could also upgrade the Mystic Forge again, because there's just one in the shop. I didn't even notice that. I wasn't looking at that yet. We need food production badly, though, which we're not really getting. There's an interior designer. Put that on the pasture, and then we give the pasture crit chance. It has 120% crit chance now, so it produces a lot more food. There we go. We have 52 food now. That gives us a buffer for when the next flight starts. I could get another harried hawker. In fact, yeah, actually grab the harried hawker, put him in the academy, we get more harried hawkers. And as long as we survive the next flight, we're in business. Legacy and 150 money, or relic and relic. Let's take relic and relic. We gotta kind of monitor this flight a little bit more, though. See if our food holds. Yeah, no, our food's doing better now, because I reduced our cost and increased our gain a fair whack. So yeah, we're fine. We're totally fine now. Except we're dead from damage, so it didn't matter. I was too focused on food. That's such a shame. That build had incredible potential on it. I just was not generating enough, apparently. So that's another run that's ended before the hour and a half mark. So I guess we'll try something silly next, if there's even a silly option, to try to pad time out a bit. Biolab. Gain inspiration for each agricultural building and 4 food for every academic building. You know, actually, I want to try something. We're gonna focus purely on the power of violence. Get rid of the seed and a medium auric bag, small auric bag, and an agricultural schematic. Nope. Go on medium then. I want to see if I can keep our morale up just with attacks. We killed a lot of enemies there. Get the money. Like, we will have food generation from the Unconquered Sun. Back here, make our main building cycle 3 times. We'll forego the production of our core here for more food. A monitor lizard for this gun. Grab the assembly worker. Reroll again. Let's have 2 heart packs instead of upgrading the heart packs. It's gonna be more expensive, but I think it'll overall do more. Bug, thank you for the raid. What were we up to today? Hopefully all we're having a grand time with whatever it was. We're just doing a bunch of Next Fest demos here today, so... Oh, if you want to see a wild variety of things, you're in the right place, is for sure. But of course, if you need to raid and run, then please make sure to do so. Taking care of yourselves should always be your first priority. But I do appreciate y'all coming on in. We're just playing in some Exark right now, which is a little flying city builder. We're kind of doing a rush round right now because we're about to switch to our next demo here in just a moment. And because we've been playing this one for a little over an hour. Nice, nice. Any of them stand out? This has been a very good Next Fest, though there has been a lot of AI junk to have to filter out, but, you know, that's the state of the way it is now, unfortunately. Go ahead and junk that so I can get more money. Grab this Merchant of Odds. No, I cannot. I cannot afford it. Interesting. Hacko 95 I think I saw, but I didn't end up putting into the pool yet. Elfie I don't remember seeing at all, so I'll have to look into that. Reroll again. Dang it. Why is it keeps giving me containers? It's fine. Set a course. Blood Emerald and Industrial, or Inventions and a Purse. Let's take the Inventions and the Purse, because we're zooming. We're trying to go purely military this time to see if it backfires on me horrendously. Which, so far, we're destroying enough enemies to keep our morale up. Because how this works is you don't have a health bar for anything, you have to just keep ship morale up by producing and defeating enemies. As long as your morale never goes to 0, you're fine. Get our money. I'm generating food basically purely off of our main reactor, and it's kind of working in ways I do not fully understand, but I'm just rolling with it. Ooh, Frost Cloud Drake. Yeah, give me that. Assign an officer to this Harpax. Let them do their thing. Chef de partie means this doesn't take food, so that'll solve part of the problem. An interior designer for our reactor, so our reactor can have another worker in it. Perfect. There's another interior designer. Go ahead and grab that for the next place we land. Let's show off the trading thing, because we won't be using guild schematics here. Now we just pick up the pace and see how much of these guys we chew through. Of course, these guys have a lot of units, so we're not actually going to be able to get through all of them. I've still yet to clear out a field of enemies. I would like to see that happen at some point. Just ain't happening. Welcome to Logistic Baby. Message from the Penitent Order of St. Zote. Captain General, I am the Archdeacon of the Penitent Order of St. Zote. Though thine efforts to save thine people from doom are most valiant, I fear they are futile. Our sins have condemned this world to its destined demise, and all that remains is to seek atonement in the embrace of the blessed saints. I entreat thee, Captain General, to join us in our righteous flagellation. Admit that mine shepherds to thine flock, and let us show thee the path to deliverance. So we can either get a Fane of the Great Schema, a Bloody Deathema, or a Doomsday Clock. Or we could just leave them behind. Let's see. Doomsday Clock, artifact, item that can be expended on a building to provide powerful multicast but corrupt it. Bloody Anathema is a relic that lowers arc armor by 1 at the start of a flight in exchange for generating a penitent idol. And the Fane is academic sacred buildings that cycle every 3 seconds to inflict corroded on the arc and provide inspiration. I'll actually go ahead and take the Doomsday Clock. I don't know what corrupted does, but you know what? Oh, it hurts us every time it fires off. Well, that's gonna be great. Anyway, gonna go ahead and put that on my main gun so it multicasts. I'm sure that's gonna be great. We're gonna skip the siege cannon because we used that before and it was not that useful because it fires at the back rank all the time. Upgrade the free use Harpax. Oh, actually, there we go. Discounted chef for the other one. And we'll put the interior designer on our main building once again, make more room, and set a course. Even though I'm being very reckless, this might actually last long enough to go over time. But you know what? That's just gonna have to be how it'll be. I can't believe this is working. All of my carefully planned out strategies were not as effective as this. And I'm both overjoyed and kind of annoyed by that. Because it means that this game has some flexibility to it, which is good. That's the thing that makes me happy. Go ahead and put this Blood Brother in here so our main building gets some multicast. We don't have any triggered buildings, otherwise I'd take you. Yep, I can't re-roll again. Dang it. The re-rolling seems to have a little bit of a bug to it. I've noticed sometimes I can re-roll even though I'm out of re-rolls, and other times it's like, nah, you can't do that. Stop that. So we're just not getting any good advantages here. We'll go ahead and take the engineer, so at least we get a little bit of production, I guess. I'm just only allowing myself military buildings is the thing. Industrial schematic or armor, and we'll take the schematic, sell it, and hopefully turn that into more things. And at least this way we see a different enemy, which might be our death, because our morale is dropping drastically. Yep, we're dead. Well, that ended on perfect timing, actually. Oh no, we got away on 1 morale. We have literally 1 morale left, and we survived that encounter. Incredible. Incredible. And there's the siege cannon again. And at that rate, I'll take it. We'll scrap for the same amount. Take it, scrap it. I mean, since it's offered to me, I may as well add the siege cannon to our repertoire. Oh, there's an airship gunner, so we do extra damage. So now our bolt thrower does 16. So arguably I should actually put it on the Harpax 2 instead, because it shoots faster. So this will do 7 each time it fires, as opposed to the 13, the slower firing. Actually, no, it went up to 15 because it gains damage per crew, too. We'll think about it. I have money, so let's do some rolling and see what we get. Ooh, Harried Hawker, yes. There we go. Now this has 90% crit chance instead. That's perfect. Roll one more time. Get us the railgun. Go ahead and slap that over here as well. Another Frost Cloud Drake. Go ahead and slap that on the railgun. Mortar Hermit. Yeah, see, now I can reroll again. Doesn't matter because I'm out of money, but... Now, this is the point where most runs usually die, so we're probably gonna end up getting blasted here. Just one shot and it's over. Yep. I could have saved that by doing the little robot with its triple add thing, but I wanted it to end there. Here, so we can go on to the next demo, which may very well be the last demo, because I did say I was only gonna do like 4 today. This game also takes a while to close for some reason. I don't really know why. It just does. Or anybody's like, oh, it's frozen, it's frozen. It's like, no, 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 no. Everything's fine. It does that. Again, I don't understand why. It's just a thing. By the time the ads are done, I will have swapped us over to the next thing. So have no fear. Even though Twitch decides to argue with me. That is the benefit to those ad breaks, is getting to do things like switching games seamlessly. At least seamlessly for anybody that doesn't have a subscription. I'll do the whole explanation of what this is and everything once people come back from ads, so that they all get to hear the explanation. But hopefully y'all have been enjoying the goofy demo nonsense here today so far. Turn VSync on, because it's currently running at like 800 frames that it doesn't need. There you go. There was another game I was actually planning on running today, but it was doing exactly that. It had no VSync or any kind of stopping options, and it was using tons of CPU. So unfortunately, we had to leave one of the games behind entirely because of that. I won't be naming it because I don't want to draw negative attention to anybody for that, but just keep an eye on that when you're running demos, There are some that do not have settings to allow for keeping it from just running your CPU into the ground, unfortunately. It's a rare thing for it to be a problem, but it is a problem I've run into a couple times. And for anybody interested in any particular demo, and you may have missed part of it, don't worry, everything's gonna be chopped up when it comes to YouTube tomorrow. They'll be staggered out and all separated into their own things for YouTube, so you got that going for you. And yes, there is a VOD channel on YouTube. You can find it if you hit exclamation tree. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. You didn't miss anything. I just switched us over to Stackmon and then did not do anything of note in the interim. Just rambled a little bit and plugged the fact that these were all going to be separated into separate videos for YouTube later. Yeah, this is Stackmon. I don't know too much about this. This is one of the demos I did not test too much, but it looked interesting. And before I forget, let me get you the store page for Exark, and then I'll get you the store page for Stackmon so you can get a look at that page for yourselves while I do this explanation. There you go, there's Stackmon. So basically, this is a creature collector where you are facing off against your fellow scouts at what seems to be some manner of... I hesitate to say a summer camp deal, but it's that kind of feel. And the main mechanism for a lot of the control in this is interesting, which is the main thing that got my attention. Because I've not seen this style of game used this way. It'll make more sense when we get to actual gameplay why I say it's unique. So there's going to be a little bit of reading before we get